Hi, it's Shaggy. Welcome to the Wailuku Coffee Company, where we do our normal Friday broadcast called the Coffeecast. And today I am joined by the one person that has been on every episode, but nobody's actually seen you. We've only seen your works. Yeah, so if you think about it, you've literally been on every single episode, not in person.
Like a ghost. Like a baking ghost.
A baking ghost.
I like that.
Oh. So, haunting up the kitchen here at the Wailuku Coffee Company, it's Sela.
Yes, Sela.
Yes! You have no idea how many times I had to pronounce that before the show.
Everyone says Sela or sailors. Sela.
Sailors?
Sela.
Oh, I was like...
I know, right? Where would they get that? But, you know, and people don't want to...
I know. This is the thing, though. Every time that we're on the show, we always have the treat. Yeah. We always put out the Instagram that has the treat on it. Yeah. And this is all your work. And when Megan told me I was going to finally get a chance to talk to you, I was like, just tell her bake something. Yeah. Anything.
Yeah.
So today you have made this.
Yes.
What is this?
This is a vegan chocolate cake with vegan marzipan and fresh raspberries.
Okay. So... I know it's kind of difficult to talk about complexity, but marzipan and sponge cake, not really the most fun substances to get to work with to begin with, but you're doing it all vegan.
Yes.
Is there some sort of voodoo in your work?
No. It's in the hands. I think it's always in the hands when you're like working with food. Mm-hmm. You just understand timing and texture and how things should look and how temperatures.
So basically, you know just by the feel as you're working it, whether or not it's going to be, oh, this is overworked or this is underworked. Yeah. You're going to have a little time. So.
And like the order in which you add things as well. Yeah. Because it can come out like many different ways depending on, you know?
Yeah, because I hate to say it. I've just recently got into baking.
Yeah.
So don't look down on me, but
never.
Right before I started making baked goods, you know, anybody. I hate to say this in a condescending way, but stovetop cooking is kind of the first tier of cooking. Baking is chemistry, science, and physics. Yeah. And it's kind of like the third or fourth tier of cooking that you're actually good at.
It's rocket science. Like NASA. No, just kidding.
Oh, no, it's okay. I said, we can actually say Happy NASA Day.
Is it?
Yeah, actually, July 20th is the 50th anniversary of Neil Armstrong walking on the moon.
Wow, that's really cool.
One of the first things snuck into space was literally chocolate cake.
So this is appropriate.
This is very appropriate.
Highly appropriate.
No, I looked this up online. I was like, okay, let's talk about all the things that were snuck into space, you know? There was, hey, there's the guys from Aloha Ways. There was, Robert Johnson's song, Down at the Crossroads. That was snuck onto Voyager 1 and 2 by Carl Sagan. There was copies of, this is no joke, Pink Floyd's albums snuck aboard the Mir space station by Russian astronauts. But the first thing that astronauts wanted, from the time that food was in the little pasty things, cake in space. Yeah. That was like, if you could believe it or not, millions and millions of dollars for cake in space.
I believe it.
It's worth it.
Cake is a powerful thing.
Oh, for you, I mean, you do cakes, you do breads, you do everything. Do you have like a favorite?
No, I get asked that a lot too. No, I like a challenge, so like anything thrown at me, you're like, can you make this? I will try to make it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am with the whole baking thing, is like, it's not so much what you're making, it's like, ooh, this one has 40 steps. You know?
Yeah, right. How complicated can I make this? And will I mess up? Oh, no, never mind, I was going to say something else.
Yeah, no.
Mess it up?
We have bleeped your owner before, so I think it's safe. Thanks for setting a precedence. The thing is, though, it's like when you were talking about adding stuff in order.
Yeah.
So when you're making a normal cake, everybody knows that you mix the dries and the wets separate, and then you gingerly combine the wets with the dries in the well in the center, slowly turning so that you don't. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like, once again, third tier level cooking, but you have to accomplish that with vegan. Now we're at like fourth tier. How do you get this same consistency, and I honestly mean this, time and time and time again, every time I come in here, your cakes are on point.
Hey,
how do you do
nice
this?
To hear. It just kind of happens. It just, well, and
see, you and Megan say that there's like this whole voodoo. It's like, I don't know, I just touch it and it works.
And it just works. I've done it so many times that I would hope that it would come out consistently. It's hard to mess it up.
So it's kind of like science, but repeatable science.
Oh, yeah, that's why you have a recipe. Like standardized recipes are there, so everyone can make a recipe.
I gotta know though, because you're one of those younger generations, aren't you? Recipes used to be on the 5x8 note cards in the secret little cabinet somewhere. Do you, and that was for the people that were just, kind of getting started. Most of your experienced bakers, all the recipes are up here.
Yeah.
Where do you hide your recipes and how can I steal them? Okay, just only answer the first one.
Well, we have a book, but because I've done them so many times, they are kind of in my head. I don't think that people should have secret recipes because the hands that make the food will always make it come out different. So I really share it. I don't know, share the knowledge.
Yeah, there's something in software, because I'm a geek, once again, called open source.
Yeah.
It's where you can make something, but all the list of ingredients and the procedure for making that are open to anybody to look up and edit.
Yeah.
Cooking and recipes was kind of the first form of open sourcing, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's not like Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's kind of like Wikipedia.
You can edit anything.
No, she's like, can you edit that later to make me sound like a PhD? No, but it is true though. When somebody else, like if I were to take your recipe off the book, which I'm very tempted to do because, like I said, your cakes are always on point, I would not ever have the same product as you. And if somebody else took that from me, even if it's your writing, your original recipe, it comes out different.
Yeah.
So in a way, baking is the art and science.
It's true.
I mean, how do you not leave out of here every day like in that post-bliss haze that you're known to get into after certain activities in your life happen? When you're just like sitting there going, yes, that was a day. Because, I mean, when you're doing something creative and you're doing something engaging like this, there's got to be so much satisfaction that you're just like, ooh.
Totally. All the time. It makes me happy that it makes other people happy. And, it's something that I love to do. Everyone wants to work doing what they love to do.
You ever hide out in the kitchen and watch people as they order your stuff?
No, I'm kind of like a kitchen ninja. I kind of just focus. But sometimes I'll pop over and be like, who's getting what? What's popular? Yeah.
I mean, for me though, because this has happened, and you've been here how long now?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years, yeah.
I was about to say, this has happened for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
You guys have had not only a more tasty variety of vegan offerings on the island, but you do it here in Wailuku, where, vegan and especially vegan desserts are almost unheard of. Is this have to do anything with how you planned your baked goods, or was this just like, look, I have a passion for doing this. I'm obviously a witch because it comes out perfect. This is what I'm doing. I mean, what went into you picking these treats?
It's random. It's usually very random. It's baking jazz. I just kind of improvise. A lot of these cakes I haven't done like the same one.
Yeah.
More than that.
So you're like some sort of weird culinary Miles Davis now.
Yes.
Here, go back there. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we gonna mix up a little something.
Make some vegan cake.
Right, we gonna do a little raspberry marzipan and marzipan, everybody. I love jazz, and that's one of the things that food should always remind you of. It should almost taste like music.
Yeah, totally.
Is there a point where, and I'm going to admit because I'm new to baking that I do this, that I wait till everybody's clear of the kitchen.
Yeah.
I wait till nobody's looking, and I sample my own goods in the silence, just so that I myself, and it's only like a little morsel,
Yeah.
but it's like that savory morsel, like, this is why I do this.
Totally.
You ever had that moment?
Oh yeah, all the time. And then sometimes I have moments where I'm like really critical of myself.
Oh.
You know, you want to get it on, you know?
That's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Like, because, like I said, it is science.
Yeah.
You do have formulas,
Yeah.
but it's also art. And when the artist isn't feeling... You ever made a sad cake?
Yeah, I have off baking days like a lot of times. It just nothing comes out and you're just frustrated. But I think that's with anything that you do. You're gonna have days where it kind of sucks. That's okay. You have to accept things that suck too.
I aspire to be as good as your worst days here as a cook, because I have been coming here for years and years and years, and I aspire that your bottom is my top.
Oh, that's great.
You know,
Your bottom is my top.
you have no idea how legendary status you are.
That's sweet to hear.
I mean, everybody talks about you so nice. Megan talks about you nice. Jackie swears that you're like the second coming. I mean,
Yes.
is this something that you were born into? I mean, what was your birth prophesized by like Gordon Ramsay?
No. My grandmother was a baker. She had a cake shop. My mom's actually the other baker. So it runs in the family. I'm Italian. We have like food. I was raised with the importance of food and like relationship with food. So
That's what I like. A lot of people do not understand. It's not just, I need to ingest you for calories.
exactly.
There has to be a relationship with your food.
Oh yeah.
And when you really love your food, I hate to say it, you taste it.
Totally.
Yeah, so if you're ever wondering why your cakes come out bitter, take the tears out.
Remember not to put too much baking soda.
Right.
That will do it to your food.
Oh gosh. Well, I know you said your grandmother, your mom, you.
And
It's
whoever else, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure my great-great-grandmother did it too. She came from the motherland of, northern Italy, and all she did was cook.
oh my gosh.
So,
So I mean, at this point, you should have like your own like, I don't know, a royal seal at this point. I come from generations of bakers and bakers.
indeed, should rolled out a carpet. No.
Well, I guess we should end like this because one, I don't know if you can tell this, my mouth keeps watering because I keep looking at the cake.
Yeah.
And it's not good to talk with a drooly mouth. I have learned this after 20-something years in radio. But as far as the stuff that you try with vegan,
Yeah.
the new stuff that you try, because I know you kind of experiment from time to time. I'll see an item appear and I'm like, ooh, Sela's feeling creative. I mean, like, you kind of have this whole playful thing with food, but going on the assumption that your family is, once again, descended from the legendary first baker on Earth, is there any traditional thing that you like doing that is just like, you know what, this is the quintessential food of my soul, of my people?
Yeah. Biscotti.
Biscotti?
Biscotti. We have a family, like a secret family recipe, and I feel like, yeah, that's been the pinnacle of my childhood and everything. Back to that cookie, so good.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's neat though. So every so often when you're just like, you know what, I do it for my mother and my mother's mothers and my mother's mother's mothers.
Exactly.
That is so
Those like
neat.
Braveheart.
You know, you need a movie.
Yeah, that'd be cool. No, I suck at it. I would suck at it, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I know I said that was the last question, but one final one. You guys are getting ready, and I think in 2 weeks to open up at the new location. Megan told me that is like the quintessential baker's paradise. have you checked it out? And is it everything that she's promised this Garden Eden to be?
Yeah. It's a big kitchen. And it's huge. And it's got all the, like, appropriate things. Yeah.
I know she said she took your mom over there, and your mom was just like, thank you. Oh, you know?
It's so needed. It is so needed to have like a good oven. It's so important that it holds the temperature. It's kind of like, yeah, it's wizardry trying to keep like temperature on something.
I know. It's like so funny that this stuff comes out of this tiny kitchen.
Yeah,
And it's hard to keep, like you said, everything regulated. Everybody's in and out of the ovens all the time, which is notoriously bad for breads and cakes. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Never.
it messes with the rising. And,
So
texture.
I can't wait for your next adventure, and definitely anytime that you bake anything, my wife and myself would like to be included in your family and invited over.
Yeah, you're an honorary Italian.
Yes.
Hey, forget about it.
Yeah.
Let's eat cake. Do you want to try
Okay.
it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So everybody, until next time, come down here and check out Sela's amazing work day after day after day. And if it's not hers, it's her mother's. And her mother's recipe. Yes, and mothers and mothers and mothers. Well, you bring your mother down here, she will leave with a smile on her face.
I should hope.
Yeah. And as we say, is food so good, you'd probably smack your mama.
Yeah, I would.
Not in an Italian house. You end up with a black
No,
eye.
she smack you.
Right? Taste my cake! Well, everybody come down to the Wailuku Coffee Company. Until next time, thank you, Sela. We're eating cake. Bye.